There is a 90% chance TikTok will be banned in the US unless it goes through with an IPO that gets bought out by a mega cap tech, mega cap tech. Wedbush says so. Mega cap tech is basically big tech, like either Facebook, Amazon, Twitter, any of these big tech companies. If they buy it, there's a 90% chance that Facebook will be banned in the US after CEO Shu Qiu gave evasive testimony to Congress, according to Wedbush. Wedbush said TikTok will have to go through with an IPO or sell itself to a mega tech company to avoid a ban. A matter of when, not if TikTok gets banned in the US. A matter of when, not if TikTok gets banned in the US. And you know what? Go watch my other channel, Brand Video Pro, and I broke down my take on that. You know, I had a nice little panel. We just talked about why it was important that TikTok gets banned. Go check that out. Just to recap quickly, essentially, it's a national security threat. And there are so many reasons, you know, why. And that whole sort of Congress hearing just kind of revealed even more information. So yeah, TikTok is a national security threat. And it being bought by it being bought by big tech, a company here, is interesting, right? Because there are a few things that are at play now. Who is going to buy it? I do not think that TikTok should allow Facebook buy it. It should absolutely not, because that's their main competitor. I'm more open with a Google buying it. That would be great. I'm very much even more open with Amazon buying it, because it loosens things up and it makes things less of a monopoly. Because if Google owns that, Google owns the internet. Facebook already owns like the social aspect of the internet, right? And then Amazon, which is a big player, just like, you know, with purchasing goods and stuff, that really does integrate well with Amazon. And I think that if Amazon bought it, I think about how in China they have TikTok and other live stream platforms that you can buy stuff on the app. I think if Amazon bought that, it would integrate very well with their different products. But it would make Amazon a beast. It would make Amazon a beast, because you just use Amazon and you can buy products as you're watching Amazon. You could go on Amazon Prime. They might put Netflix out of business. They might put so many other products out of business. So Amazon would be I would lean on more Amazon buying it. Another one might even be Netflix. That would be interesting if Netflix bought it too. It would serve a very similar purpose if Netflix is even looking at things that way. Netflix, but then all these other big tech companies, Apple, I think it would be too much. I wouldn't agree with Apple buying it, because they already own the devices that we use. It's giving them too much power. Just as I don't agree with the idea of Facebook owning it. I don't agree with the idea of Apple buying it, but I'm leaning more towards Google. I'm leaning mostly towards Amazon. And then of course, Twitter would be great. It would replace Vine. And all of that sort of thing. I think Twitter actually might even be the better between Amazon and Twitter. I think it's a draw. But for me, the main thing that is my main contention here is there have been some rumors that Facebook was lobbying. Facebook and all these platforms were lobbying, allegedly. Nothing has been proven. Allegedly, that Facebook and all these other platforms were lobbying to get TikTok out of the US. Now, let's not negate the fact that TikTok is a national security threat. It gives the Chinese government access to the US population in a way that to our data and to so many things, which enables them to manipulate us. And when you understand China's agenda, it is to destruct the United States. It is to become the superpower in the world, for China to reign supremely. That is China's goal. And so they will do everything in their power to diminish America. Even to the effect, when you go on China's version of TikTok, I think it's Biden. Sorry, I can't pronounce it. But on there, they're showing things that are, patriotic, inspirational, teaching kids how to be good, astute students. But when you look at TikTok in America, it's like teaching us how to be degenerates and idiots. Or TikTok outside of China, degenerate idiots that dance and do stupid stuff. That's what TikTok promotes. And I love TikTok though. I've gotten a lot of views from TikTok on my other platforms. So I do love TikTok and I think it's a great app, but it does pose a threat. And so you have to understand why it's a big issue. But the idea of Facebook or all these other platforms, big tech companies lobbying, what is their agenda? What are they gaining out of this? And it was just announced that Facebook will no longer, Meta, Instagram, Facebook will no longer give funds for their creator fund. So the Reels and Facebook Reels, normally they started giving funds. I think they had like $100 million they announced in 2021 that they were giving out. It's possible that they ran out of money, but this idea that Facebook is no longer giving us money, right? And that's kind of scary, or it's not scary. It's just it just shows Facebook's greed and their level of greed. Cause like this is a company that makes so much money, insane amounts of money from Facebook ads. The difference is that with Google, YouTube pays us. We get paid to make content on YouTube, but we don't get paid on Facebook. Fair enough. There's a limited amount of times you can put an ad on Facebook as opposed to Google. Google has an infinite amount, every time you click on a video, there's an opportunity to monetize that video. But with Facebook, it's difficult because you can't have an ad after every video because we're literally scrolling. So I understand that they have a limit to how many ads they can showcase, and that might have put a cap on it. But Facebook is pay to play, and I hate that. I hate that about it. And they've seen TikTok found a way around this. Maybe, I don't know. We don't know if TikTok really makes any money, but TikTok says, hey, we're going to pay creators. We're going to encourage you to be innovative. We're going to do all these things. And Facebook just doesn't want to do it. It doesn't want to pivot that way. And so it does what it does. So now it's lobbying. And this is my main contention with Facebook, because they do too many things. It's Mark Zuckerberg has made it very clear, and I call it Facebook, I mean Meta, but Mark Zuckerberg has made it very clear that his agenda with Facebook is to connect people. It's not about being a creator. It's not about entertaining people. It's not about any of that. It is to connect people. It's the main vehicle for connection. All his Meta products, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, to connect people. So because this is his agenda, he is not going to focus on Facebook being an entertainment platform the way TikTok has focused on doing that. And because of that, the incentives to pay us is different. He knows ultimately we're still going to use Facebook because it allows us to connect with our childhood best friends, with our classmates from primary schools, kindergarten, with our with lifelong friends from college, friends from all that random summer program that you did. Facebook allows you to connect with people, so you're still going to need the app. It's a necessity in this world. Not just that, connect with our current friends and to discover new people, connect with new people. WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram they facilitate all these needs. So no matter what, Facebook understands that we're going to use their platform. Now, as in terms of being entertained on Facebook, that is just almost the icing on the cake, and it's almost seen as secondary from their mission. It keeps us on the app. And to them, it's like, why should we pay you for this? And maybe, I don't know why, but it's just, I don't know what's wrong with the economics in Facebook. But to me, it's just it's fueled by greed and selfishness, because they do so many things and they tap into so many different markets. They just released WhatsApp video chat, so they're copying Zoom. They released channels with Facebook, which is copying Telegraph. They've just copied everybody. It's like they're doing so much, they're doing too much, that each of their individual products are not they're not strong. Like, they can stand alone. They are good enough. They're passable, but they're not strong. The best thing that they do is allowing us to communicate with each other. But if you're a content creator and you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram, you get treated like crap because you're not primary to them. But TikTok prioritizes creators. YouTube prioritizes creators. Do you know what I'm saying? So no matter what, these platforms prioritize us, so they take care of us well. But Facebook understands, it's like Facebook wants to have its cake and eat it too. Facebook Meta, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to house creators, but they don't want to pay us. And that's my main contention with Facebook. So them lobbying to get TikTok out, I really hope that Amazon buys it. if Apple buys it, that would be a big competition. And I wouldn't be too upset if Apple actually did buy TikTok. So that's one thing. The other thing is there's this new law that they're proposing, which is pretty scary. And it's that if TikTok gets banned in America, and you're thinking of using a VPN to access it, you could be subject to $1 million fine, a $1 million fine, or 20 years in prison. This is being proposed by the Senate Bill 686. It's called the Restrict Act. That's freaking scary. This bill requires the federal actions to identify and mitigate foreign threats to information and communication technology, ICT, products and services. It also establishes civil and criminal penalties for violations under the bill. Specifically, this is kind of scary. I'm going to tell you a way that you guys can, if the TikTok does get banned, which I hope it doesn't, but I understand the need for it to get banned, but I hope a US company buys it. But if TikTok does get banned, I'm going to tell you a way to get around this. And your strategy is not going to be a US audience, but specifically the Department of Commerce must identify data or deter, disrupt, prevent, prohibit, investigate, and mitigate transactions involved ICT products and services in which any foreign advisory has any interest and that poses an undue or an unacceptable risk to U.S. national security or blah, 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 safety of U.S. persons. Additionally, Commerce must identify and refer to the president any cover holding stocks or security that pose any undue acceptable risk to U.S. national security, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, the bill outlines enforcement mechanisms, including actions to the Department of Justice and civil criminal penalties and violations. $1 million. That's crazy. So this is what is interesting to me, because if I'm still wanting to create, because I have an audience outside of America, we're going to be using TikTok, right? I will hire somebody on Fiverr, right? To post for me on TikTok. Maybe I'll use a platform what is it? Metricool or something. Use one of those platforms and have them post for me, right? Or maybe I won't even access TikTok myself. I'll just use one of those platforms. I think Metricool is what I use, and Metricool is a German company, so I can actually just still post on TikTok without actually being on TikTok, and without using TikTok. So that's one way to go about it. And then you have sort of somebody that's creative sort of manage your TikTok page to make sure that it, meets the standards that you want it to meet. That's a way to mitigate this and still perform on TikTok and still tap into a massive audience of people. That's one way to look at it. The problem, though, that I see with that is, obviously, it sucks. If TikTok is banned, don't get it twisted. I understand. For me, I love TikTok and I love using it and I love being a content creator in it. I love how many views I get on it and building my platforms on it. But I also understand that the U.S., I understand the risk. I understand the national security risk. And to me, safety is more important than entertainment. And that's really just the bottom line. So I do support the idea of them banning it, but I do hope a U.S. company does buy it. And here's my issue with a U.S. company buying it now. Why does all tech have to be owned by the U.S.? That's, to me, is scary. And it's not scary on a U.S.-centric, perspective, but I think from a global interest, the way that the U.S. kicked Russia off of all of their platforms, to me, it's problematic for them to ban this, for them to have banned this, or for them to buy it in the U.S. and then the U.S. continues to control tech, which is, I think it could help the dollar. The dollar, that's another conversation for another channel. The decline in the dollar, but it's all troubling stuff. But But let me know your thoughts. $1 million, is it worth becoming a TikToker? And then it begs the question, if I use an app like Metricool to upload, or I have an assistant that uploads for me via Fiverr, am I going to get prosecuted by the United States? Are they going to look for me and tell me to pay a fine when I haven't used the app? I just hire people to do it. That's interesting. Does this law say that I'm not allowed to hire someone to post for my other audiences? Who knows? This is all like interesting. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's interesting. TikTok's going to lose a lot of users, but not, I think they have billions of users already. So 150 million users, but they're going to have a lot of other users on their platform. Let me know your thoughts anyway. This is all unfortunate. If it does get bad, hey, they need to do what they need to do. It's essential for America. I get it. But if I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. You're watching OVG Tech. This is my new channel. Well, I changed the name of this channel, OVG Tech. I'm your host, Kenim. And make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the above. And I'll see you in the next one. A peace.